Okay, welcome everybody to the Whole Heart Masterclass for today. My name is Diana Morgan, and I'm so happy that you're here. And those of you who aren't here, I'm happy that you're listening. We're going to talk about best practices for social media in 2026. And for those of you who haven't met me before, nice to meet you. And I'm going to just tell you a little bit about Whole Heart Marketing is a proven systems-based approach to authentic, heart-centered marketing on the internet to build consistent and continued credible visibility and influence with strategic partners, clients, and followers, while leveraging your time and resources to generate consistent income and make a bigger impact. And I have been doing this for over 18 years and everything from building websites to search engine optimization and landed in social media. I have my book, The Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula, which is a #1 bestseller, which I did that myself. And I also, you'll see I have other books. I'm a 4-time #1 bestseller, working on my 5th book now. And what I do is I help people to grow their authentic online presence. And I'm mostly focused on free organic reach. And what that means is using the internet as a person to get visibility for free. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Marissa. Welcome. I'm not sure if that's your phone number or who that is, but maybe people can change to put their name and let me know where you're calling from in the chat, and I'm going to just keep going. So if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm going to keep everybody muted so we have a clean recording. I will be sending out the replay afterwards. And if you stay on till the end, of course, I'm going to offer to tell you how you can continue to work with me. And for the people who stay on till the end, I'm going to also offer a special bonus. So what we're going to learn today. In this training, you're going to learn my simple whole heart social media success formula to share what you do in a way that feels natural and builds community and builds trust and gets more clients and results. We're going to learn a clear strategy to attract your ideal clients because that's what you're all looking for. And things have changed in 2026. So we're going to be learning some new things. Some things are the same, some things have changed. We're going to learn a simple structure for post videos and DMs on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and a simple weekly rhythm, including common mistakes to avoid. Because wouldn't it be nice to know what you're not supposed to be doing? I just recently, I'm going to share, you might have seen the post that I did. I get on my soapbox every so often. This past couple weeks ago, somebody put a post like, hey, everybody, it turns out that you're not supposed to like or comment on people's posts anymore because it doesn't do any good. It's like, so no, you're not supposed to like or love comments, but just like or love posts. So just comment. So put a comment on this post. So that is what is called engagement bait. And every few months, some post goes around like that, which is like, it's not true, it's a hoax, and it's just to get people to comment on your posts. And the social media platforms do not take kindly to that sort of engagement bait. They want authentic engagement. And that's a lot of what I'm going to talk about today. And one of the things that people do is, you see these posts and you see someone else who says it and you're like, oh, okay, that must be true because, you don't really know. And the thing is, just because someone else is doing it doesn't mean that you should do it. So today you're going to learn what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. So put a yay in the comments if that's exciting to you, because it's exciting for me to be teaching this to everybody. Okay, this is the truth room. Anyone who knows me knows that this is the truth room that I create here. So you don't have to put it in the chat, but I just want you to answer for yourself. The internet is a 24/7 networking opportunity. So the question I have for you today is, how do you show up? Are you consistent? Do you show up occasionally? Are you excited? Do you feel like, ugh, I should do this? I don't want to do it. I hate this. It drives me nuts. I hate Facebook. Because we're all connected energetically. So if you're showing up from this energetic place of, oh my God, I hate Facebook. I hate doing this. I don't want to do it. Then that's what people are receiving from you. And the goal of your social media is to transmit your energy exactly the way it would be if you meet people in person. So you want to be thinking about that as you show up on social media and how you show up on social media. So if you're like, it's a big waste of time, I'm not getting anything from it, I feel like it's a big time suck, we're going to talk about that today. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Still letting people in. Okay, so what is your intention? Why are you on social media? Is your intention to get new connections? Is it to network with existing connections, referrals, clients, inspiration, education? I know for me, a lot of times I'm on social media because I love all the quotes and I love all that stuff, the videos and the memes and the other inspirational things. Are you there to find out what's happening? I hope you're not there to find out about the news, because if you are, I want to encourage you not to be and to get three other opinions of anything you read on Facebook or any other social media platform. Or are you there to connect with family and friends? So think about, what is your intention? Are you there to build your business? Okay. And that's what I want you to really be thinking about today. Welcome to everybody who's new. There will be a recording in case you missed anything. And I mean, you did miss things. So there will be a recording. And feel free to put where you're from in the chat. If you have any questions, put them in the chat and stay on till the end for extra bonus. So what is your intention on your social media? All right, we're diving in. Here we go. The biggest shift in 2026. Algorithms more than ever reward meaningful interaction. And this has a lot to do with AI. Okay, the algorithms know what is AI and what is human interaction, and they're rewarding interaction. So, rewarding, what does that mean? It means you're getting higher up in the search engines, getting higher up in people's feeds if you are a human interacting. Okay, I'm going to talk about how to interact and what that means. Human resonance outperforms polished perfection. Okay. So don't spend hours making reels and making videos, being all cute and funny and fancy. Okay. Be real. And, I can tell you myself, I've been doing a lot of videos lately. You probably have seen them. Maybe you saw one to get here today. And what I'm finding, so I've done some where they're, very polished and I have like a script and all that. And then there's some where I'm like maybe on my walk or I'm just in whatever. And those get higher visibility. The ones where I'm just being real, saying my thing, get much higher visibility. I mean, if you're one of those people that likes to play in Canva, great. I'm not. I would rather watch paint dry than play in Canva. But some people like to do that. So if you're that person, then great, go for it. But don't spend too much time with that, because really what people are looking for is your message, and they're looking to feel your heart. They want to feel you. And your energy drives visibility. As I said, it's all energy. Everything is energy. So your energy is what drives visibility. And I'm going to talk a little bit about AI today and how AI can support you with that, but it can't replace you. So the big algorithm change that happened, it says on Facebook, but it's really all of social media that happened last year, which is that visibility has increased without posting more when you serve your ideal clients. Social media platforms have started to prioritize interest-based content over friends and followers. So what this means is that if your content has the right keywords and the right language, the social media platforms are going to show that content to the people who they think will be interested in the content. And they're not just showing it to people who are your friends and followers. Now, it's sort of half and half. So the friends and followers are still important. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't pursue the friends and followers and the relationships, which we're going to talk about today. But it is expanded visibility to even more than just your friends and followers. It's based on 50% based on interest based. So if the algorithm thinks a person is interested in your content, it's more likely that it will show up in their feed, even if they're not a follower. So how many of you noticed lately in your social media, like you get on there and you're like, what's all this stuff in my feed? I didn't like or comment. I don't even know what all this stuff is about. It's because social media platforms think this is what you're going to be interested in. So you're somehow liking, commenting, engaging in content that's telling the search engines that that's what you want to see. The bottom line is it's more important than ever to create content that is a reflection of your message and your brand, engaging and using the right words, because that way you're going to get the highest visibility from the search engines, because you're telling the search engines, I want people who are interested in these words in this language to see my content. So let's be blunt. That's me. I'm blunt. What's not working? Trying to beat the algorithm. Okay. If you leave here today with one thing, I want it to be that if you show up authentically and you implement the whole heart social media success formula, which we're going to talk about, you do not even have to worry about the algorithms. The algorithms, you'll never be able to beat the algorithms by trying to beat the algorithm. But if you use social media as a human in authentic ways, you will always beat the algorithm. Posting only promotions and skipping the relationship. That's not working. Okay. So it's just like if you went to a networking event and you walk in and you shove your card or your book or your workshop or your flyer in everybody's face. Does that work? No. It's the same thing on social media. If all you're doing is posting your promotion, then it's not working. Posting without clarity. Okay. So this is a key piece. Every single client that I work with, when I help them with their social media, I do a whole heart social media makeover and I help my clients to get clear, to get on the right track with their social media. And the most important thing is clarity. If you don't know what you're selling and who you're selling it to, you're all over the place. And guess what? You get 2 seconds to engage people. 2 seconds. And then you know how you are. You're looking at your phone. No. Oh, and then you lean in. Okay. It's the same thing with everybody else. So if you're all over the place and one day you're posting about this and one day you're posting about that, and you're targeting this age group and that age group and this person's challenge and that age group's challenge, then, people are swiping right by you. Overproducing content. Okay. Less is more. You don't have to pump out content. Like one of the things I hear people say all the time, I'll say, well, what are you doing on your, because they're like, I'm not getting anything. Nobody's buying from me on my social media, which makes me laugh because that's not really what it's about. But I'm not getting anything. And so I'll say, well, tell me, what are you doing? I'm posting all the time. I post every day. Well, here's the thing. Posting and overproducing content is not going to get you anything. And on some of the platforms, like for example, on LinkedIn, it will actually get you less visibility. So you don't want to overpost. And I'm going to talk to you about what is a good posting cadence and rhythm in a little while. And chasing trends that don't fit your style. Okay. Like I said, if you're one of those people that likes to do all those reels, great. But here's the thing. If you're going to do reels, if you're going to do videos, whatever you're going to do, have a plan. Okay. Don't do no more random acts of social media after today. So that's what's not working. Okay. So Diana, what is working? Okay. Here's what is working. Posting fewer times with more intention, which is clarity, intention. Focus on conversation, not broadcasting. Super high value. If you want to know what is the highest and best use of your time on social media, you can pay someone else to do your posting. You could pay someone else to help you find content. You could pay someone else to do Canva, thank God. But you cannot pay someone else to be you. So if you focus on conversation, on connection, on engaging, that is the highest and best use of your time. Be you on social media. Share original perspectives and lived experiences. Okay. Share your life. And of course, not so personal that you feel, over vulnerable and overexposed, but share it in a way where, you can share about yourself so you can let people get to know you, but you don't have to like share your most personal things. Share things that you don't feel vulnerable about, but you would like people to know about you. And then and this says one clear message per post, but it should say one clear message per campaign. So you can have numerous campaigns. If you sell something to numerous types of audiences, you can have more than one audience, but it's one marketing message per campaign. So you want to have a plan. So maybe 1 month you market this, 1 month you market that, so that you're sharing a cohesive, coherent, consistent message for a period of time to let people get to know what you're about. Okay. Now you know why I give a recording. I give a lot of information. Okay. Facebook best practices in 2026. Groups are more valuable than pages. Okay. If you want to put the time in, it takes time to do a group. But if you want to put the time in, more people are going to see your posts in a group than will see your posts on a business page unless you pay for advertising. And okay, so I know some of you were like, well, I don't even need a business page. Some of you don't have to raise your hand, so are thinking, well, I don't even have a business page. Here's the thing. You need a business page on Facebook because that's sort of like your Facebook website. Okay. So, and you want to populate it with content, ongoing, current, all the time, but you don't put a lot of energy into it. If you have a group, make it a public group. Don't even bother with a private group. You can have a private group for like your paid program or something, but have a group, invite people in, share great content, and more people are going to see your content in a group. Okay, conversation over broadcast. In other words, connecting, engaging over just pumping out posts. Comments drive reach. You're going to hear me say this a number of times today. The more you comment and the more you converse, the higher you get in the algorithms. So like, for example, if you do a post like your birthday, you'll notice whenever you do a super personal post like your birthday or like some event in your life, you'll get a ton of people commenting. So what I'll do is I'll say there's 100 people that commented. I'll thank like 10 people a day for 10 days. And every time you comment on a comment, it brings that post higher up in the algorithm to everyone who has seen it and even people who haven't seen it. So you don't want to comment on all of them in one day and don't want to do thanks everybody in one comment. You want to comment on each person's comment, but do it over a period of time. So every single time you comment, you get higher up in the algorithms because the algorithms reward human interaction. Okay, and native posts perform best. So native posts are like just a regular post versus like a promotional ad type post. And even if you're boosting a post, like what I do when I'm boosting a post, is I'll just create a regular post and boost it versus making like an ad or something that looks very super salesy. That's Facebook. And truthfully, well, I'm going to keep going. Okay. LinkedIn best practices. Thoughtful text posts, okay, long and short stories are really powerful on LinkedIn. And less is more. It's at the bottom, but I'm saying it now for every single one of these strategies. Less is more. So if you did like 1 or 2 stories a week, or maybe you did a carousel once a month, less is more on LinkedIn because once you post something on LinkedIn, when you post the next thing, the thing above it just kind of like okay, now we're going to focus on this one. And then now we're going to focus on this. So you're losing visibility by pumping out more than one post a day. Like what I'll do with LinkedIn is I'll schedule. I might post once a day, but I'm going to schedule it and not have things repeat. I don't repeat posts on LinkedIn. I will repurpose posts on Facebook, but I don't do that on LinkedIn. And I will also do it on Instagram. So, industry conversations, because that's a great way to brand yourself. Talk about things that are pertinent to your industry and get into conversations with people. So, I'm going to go back to Facebook for one more minute here because I had something I wanted to say about groups. Say you don't have a group. Being in other people's groups is also really valuable. Okay. So pick two or three groups that are relevant to you and your business where you have your ideal clients are there. And they're active groups. And there's two different kinds of groups, kind of. There's a group where, like, I create a group and it's all about me and what I'm doing, and I'm not really encouraging interaction by any of you. And then there's groups that are like for really, truly for networking. And I recommend that you get in the groups that are really, truly for networking. If you're going to start a group, then that's the kind of group, that the first group. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting over a cold. Okay, so groups. Now I'm going to go back to LinkedIn. Thoughtful texts and posts. And this is not to replace, like, you could take your blog and do it as a post. You could do it on the publishing platform, publish it on your website as well. But thoughtful posts, long and short stories, industry conversations, relationships first. Okay. DMing people that you're connected to and starting to really build those relationships. Personal insights outperform a corporate tone. Okay. A lot of people think on LinkedIn, well, this is business, I have to be all corporate. No, it's a little bit more business than Facebook. I mean, I wouldn't like put pictures of my kitties or something like that on LinkedIn, but it's definitely still more of um, a human tone. Instagram. Carousels still dominate. Carousels are good for visibility. Reels are great, but they should feel human. Okay. I did an experiment recently where I did a AI generated reel, and then I did one that I did myself. Massively higher visibility from my own reel than from the AI generated one. And it costs money, and it's so much cheaper to just do your own anyway. Okay, stories to build trust and saves. So when people save your content, it signals value. So you want to be sharing content that people are saving. Like, I know I'm giving all these people with recipes massive value because I save the recipes. That's my favorite thing to do on Instagram. Okay, here's what else is working. AI plus human balance. Okay. How many of you are already using AI? Okay. So using AI, there's lots of things you can use AI for. You can use it to, I just raised my hand now. I'm going to have my hand raised the whole time. Okay. My hand's going to just stay raised. Um, huh. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot of things you can use AI for. You can use it to create content. You can use it, for posting, but the human element is what the algorithms are looking for, and they can tell the difference. You can use it, if you do create content with AI. I know you know this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Do not use your content straight from AI. Always infuse your own heart and clarity and your own language and your own authenticity into it, because it's always going to be about authenticity for people and for the search engine. Guess what? How many of you now can tell what's AI content? We all know, right? So it's like, so does everyone else. So I use it all the time. And I always will infuse my own voice. It's like a starting point for me. It's a jumping off point that gives me that, like, to get going, and then I will take it on my own. Okay, bottom line, here it is. This is a good screenshot. You don't need to be louder. You need to be clearer, calmer, and more connected. So, how many have taken a deep breath when they heard that? I mean, that's the bottom line, you guys. It's like it's not about more, it's about authenticity, and it's about being clearer, calmer, and more connected. Okay, so I want to give you some really important fundamental strategies for your social media that are going to get you, these are things that so many people don't really even realize how crucial they are. The first one is to optimize your profile, okay, and your posts. Complete your profile with a clear bio and contact information. Use keywords in your platform for better searchability. Get creative, attractive visuals and compelling captions, and be consistent with updating your profile. Okay. I update my profile. I go in and check my social media platforms and my website description about once a month because everything is changing all the time. And we are always ever changing, evolving humans. So it's important to make sure that you're presenting yourself the way you want to present yourself. We're always growing, we're always accomplishing new things. So what have you accomplished that you haven't added to your LinkedIn profile and your Facebook business page and your website? Okay. So go in about once a month. The other thing is that Facebook does this thing. You know how when you update your website, it's sort of like after you make changes, you update your website. Well, Facebook does that with the Facebook platform. So whenever they roll out something new, they reset the whole Facebook platform. So there's all kinds of settings on Facebook that they do that benefit them that are not necessarily the best benefits for us. One of the things I do in my classes is actually teach people, like, what are the best settings for your social media? Like, how do you want your notifications to be? How do you want, like, when you're in a group, how come sometimes you see the notifications and sometimes you don't? You have to have your notifications set correctly. Well, every time Facebook upgrades, they reset it the way they want it to be. So we have to go in and set it the way we want it to be. Okay, so that's the very first thing. Make sure your profile picture is current. It's not a picture of your cat or your grandkids or your logo. It's you. It doesn't have to be, it should be professional in how you want to present yourself professionally. Social media platforms favor people who are active and consistent. Show up consistently and engage with your audience before you post. This is a huge super tip. Okay. So if you want to get more visibility, show up more. Don't tell people like, hey, everybody, put a comment in my thing. That's engagement bait. If you feel like, how come I feel like, Tanya isn't, I haven't seen Tanya's posts in a really long time. What am I going to do? I'm going to go over to Tanya's Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'm going to start liking or commenting on her content. Okay. So then guess what? I'm going to start seeing her stuff. She's going to start seeing my stuff. That's how you wake up your social media. And I'm going to teach you a strategy for that in a little while. Respond promptly to comments, messages, and mentions to get higher reach. Okay. The sooner you respond to comments, the higher the reach. Ask questions to encourage conversation. I want to encourage you to ask questions that are relevant to your business and not random, ridiculous questions that feel like engagement bait. I mean, if you want to do that, you can. But for me, I don't like to respond to those because they just feel like engagement bait. Comment on and share other people's posts. Okay. That's one of the most powerful things you can do. Say you're like, oh, I'm not feeling that inspired and I don't know what to do on social media, or you're sick and you just kind of are not really having a lot of energy, or like me, you have laryngitis for 2 weeks and you're like, what am I going to do? You can go and comment on people's posts and share people's posts. I'm going to share how to share people's posts in a minute. So comment and share people's posts to lift them up. Maybe they have a workshop coming up. Share about their workshop. Maybe they have a special accolade that you could share about, that they got an honor or an award for something. And show appreciation when people share your stuff. Thank them. Thank you for sharing my post, Perry. It's like, it's so simple, but it's so powerful. And think about it. Doesn't it feel good when someone thanks you or acknowledges? You see that notification and you're like, oh, Scott thanked me for whatever. Scott shared my post. It feels good. Okay. I want to share the another strategy, which is the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula. This is tried and tested. I have been doing this myself for 18 years, and this is what my book is about. So you can read the whole thing here. It's on Amazon, the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula, soon to be an audiobook. And marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. Okay. So you meet them where they are and you bring them to the transformation. Marketing is not sales. And when someone says to me, I'm not getting any sales on my social media, it makes me laugh because, oh, well, yeah, of course you're not, because social media is not for selling. It's for marketing. It's for educating, inspiring, and motivating people to take action. Okay. Now, AI can help you. It can help you by finding content. It can help you by posting. It can help you with a lot of things, but it can't be you. Okay. So again, we're back to the human and the AI combo. So this formula came through what I have been doing for the past 18 years. I didn't make it up or, learn it from somebody. It's actually what I have been doing. And it's how I got my book to #1 bestseller with 70,000 views. It's how I have, built my business. I mean, I boost posts once in a while, but if you're not doing free organic reach, if you're not playing on social media and actually using your personal profiles, your free organic reach, your boosting posts is not really going to get you much. But if you're playing on, I like to say play because it's the right mindset for social media. So if you're playing on social media, then you're going to get more if you boost posts. Okay, so 50% of the time that you are on social media, you are connecting, engaging, building relationships. Okay, this is the human part. This is you building relationships. 40% is to serve, to educate, inspire, and motivate. And then 10% is to invite. And I'm going to break this down even further. Okay. So diving a little deeper into this, the strategy is to connect, to serve, and to invite. So connect, in other words, share things that are relatable that people can connect with you on. Serve, share things that are inspiring and educating and useful. Okay. And then make a warm, specific invitation. One of the things that I see people do so often is they don't do one, they don't do two, and then they just, oh, well, I have this workshop coming up. So then you're doing 100% promoting and it doesn't work. And people just glide right by it. So let's take it even a little deeper. What does that 50% look like? Daily engagement. Okay. So, okay, everybody take a deep breath. Thank you. I'm about to tell you something, and half of you will go out of your body when I say it. Because people ask me, how much time should I be spending on social media? And I'm going to say an hour a day. Okay. And not an hour a day of I've fallen into Facebook and I can't get out, or clicking on something and ending up on YouTube for an hour. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about intentional social media, which is what we're talking about right now. So it's daily engagement. It's following. Notice I said loving and not liking, because love is what matters more than like. Commenting and sharing and caring. So caring is, it's not just click, 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 click. Caring is connect, acknowledge, respond, and engage. And this is another good screenshot to have up on your computer. So the reason I have 2 asterisks by share is because these days the share button isn't really what you want to be doing to share content. I mean, if you're sharing a video, then yeah, just use the share button. But if you're sharing a post with an image, you want to copy the content, copy the image, and share it wherever you're going to share it as an original post and give that person credit by thanking them and tagging them. So I would copy the content, copy the image, share it on my social media, and I would say, thanks for sharing, Brenda. I love this post because blah, blah, blah. And then I would share it because when you share it as an original post, you get much more visibility than if you share it with the share button. So that's just a little super tip that can get you higher visibility. But so 50% of the time you're engaging, you're connecting, you're building the relationships. You're engaging, I mean, you're applying a strategy of timing to optimize your online presence. Here's the thing, you guys, when you're online, when you're active and you're engaging and you're conversing online, that's when you're getting the highest reach. The platforms entice you to be online, to be present, and to play because by giving you a higher reach. Okay, so you're going to reach more people by being online. And you can use the analytics tool to find out when is the best times to be online. You can also just look at your phone or your computer and see when your people are online. And if you're online enough times, then you're going to see who's online when. And I'm going to give you the strategy for that in a minute. Test different types of posts and analyze results and maintain consistency with your posting schedule. Okay, here is another strategy. Most of us log on to whatever platform we're getting onto, and in our mind, we say, what should I say? But the real question is, who am I talking to? Okay, this is back to the one marketing message per campaign. Who am I talking to? Who is that one person that I want to see my content and lean in and say, oh, I'm curious, I want more? What is the struggle that I help people with that they're going to be able to relate to? They're going to see the content on my social media and want to know more. And what am I offering? What is the transformation? So if you implemented just this one thing in your social media, you made this one degree shift, you would have a radical shift in your results. Because, you know, most people, they get online and they go, what should I say? And then you just say whatever you're going to say, and it's not with intention. So think about, who are you talking to? How do you help them? And what is the transformation? And share about all three of those things. That's what you share in your education, information, inspiration. Okay, here is my challenge to all of you. This is another good screenshot. Stop the scroll. How many of you are doom scrollers? You don't have to raise your hand. Okay. I know who you are. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Stop the scroll. Stop doom scrolling. Stop scrolling, period. Start coming to your social media with intention. And again, this is another strategy. When this is how I got to 70,000 views when I published my book, and I average 15 to 20,000 views even now, because what I do and what I'm asking you to do is to pick 5 people a week to play with on social media. Okay, who are these people? They're active on social media. They're active networkers. They offer a different service to a similar target market, and they have similar values in their messaging. Okay. If they're not active, then this isn't the right game. So they have to be active. They have to be active networkers. They strategic partners. They target the same people and they sell something different. Or maybe they sell the same thing, but they're just a different person. So everybody picks the person they resonate with. Okay. Where do you find them? They're your friends. They're your connections. You already know these people. You're not going and finding people cold. You're finding people that you already know. Maybe you're in a networking group, and these are people who are in your networking group. Even if they're in an in-person networking group, they could still be the people that you connect with on your social media. Maybe they're on your email list. If they're on your email list, you could still connect with them on social media. Okay, so they're not cold. They're people you already know, but you're not playing with them. And what do you do with these people? You're going to like, love, comment on their page and yours, share their content. If your friends tag them, you can look for ways to engage. Here's what you're not going to do. You're not going to paste your buy my this or buy my that in their messenger. You're not going to promote to them. Even if it's free, you're only going to play with them and get to know them. Connect with them on all social media and then start to share their content, because then guess what happens? They're going to see the notifications and they're going to be like, oh, Eloise shared my content, or oh, Marissa liked my post. And then they're going to start coming over and checking out what you're doing, right? Because that's what we do. Oh, someone shared my stuff. Let me go give them some love too. So if you pick 5 people a week, a few people will play, a few people won't. Pick another 5 people the next week, a few people will play, a few people won't. And just keep doing that. And you're going to see over the next 3 to 6 months, your social media will accelerate exponentially. So back to the hour a day. Here's what you're going to do in that hour a day. You're not going to be on social media straight for an hour. And again, this is another good screenshot. You're going to be on social media 15 minutes 4 times a day. So what are you going to do? Now, the first thing you're going to do is check all your notifications and see who's playing with you. Okay, because you played with these 5 people a week, so see who's playing with you. Then you're going to explore who played with you in the past. Then you're going to start liking, loving, commenting, sharing, and maybe make one in-depth comment. Then maybe figure out what you can share of their content. And it could be, or maybe you could share a testimonial about them and make one in-depth comment and then make some other comments. So this, if you did this, this is your 15 minutes 4 times a day. Okay. So it's a structure, you guys. You're going to have to put it in your calendar. If you don't schedule it in the calendar, it ain't going to happen. So I want to know how many of you are willing to put are willing to implement the 5 people challenge. Raise your hand if you're willing to implement the 5 people challenge. Okay, great. Thank you. Good. Awesome. And I could be one of your 5 people to start. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's a powerful strategy. Okay, here's another strategy that I want you to think about. Collaborate with influential people in your community and in your industry and in your lane. So when I say in your lane, like, partner with influencers in your niche. Collaborate with complementary brands. Co-create content to reach a broader audience. Share and promote each other's content. The thing is partnering with people in your lane. So like if you're going to have a posting party, play with people who are in alignment with you. It doesn't, it benefits you way more to play with people who are playing with people who are your ideal clients. Okay. So that's another strategy. Collaboration stands out in an AI heavy world. You know what that means? It means when you're sharing and engaging and conversing as a human, that's what stands out to the algorithms. Building relationships builds influence. Human presence builds visibility and reach. Okay, so show up consistently, stay connected, and be curious. So that is what you're doing 50% of your time on social media. Okay, and in my perfect world, eventually you have a virtual assistant who is finding your content and helping you do all of that, which you're overseeing it. But they're helping you so that you can focus on this showing up on social media, which is the highest and best use of your time. Next, we have 40% to educate, inspire, and motivate. Marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. What do you inspire people to do? What is your core message? What is your social media about? And this is what you're sharing to show up and serve. This is what you're sharing, your education, inspiration, and motivation. Okay. And this is where you can get a lot of support from AI. You can get AI to help you with finding content, creating content, give me 30 quotes by, you know, multi-diverse authors, women mostly, no religion, no politics. That's one of my prompts. And and then you can, so there's tons of stuff you can do with AI. Have AI create images. Okay, how do you find readers? Even authors don't read your books. Okay, that's another whole topic. I am in a first of all, yeah, okay. But I'm just going to tell you, I'm in a group that meets 3 times a year where we do this Kindle flash sale, which I'm happy to tell you about. Which, in fact, I'm doing a podcast with them today, right after this. That I'll send you some information about that because it's a great way to get reviews and get your book out there. And it's almost like you relaunch your book 3 times a year. So I'll get you more information about that offline, Alois. Okay, so this is 40% is to show up to serve. So I want to talk about hashtags for a minute. Currently, hashtags still matter. I don't know how much longer they're going to matter because of AI, but they do still matter. And so you do still want to be using hashtags. So basically, hashtags perform several functions. They connect your post with the topic or audience that would be interested. They allow users to search for you, and they tell the platforms who you want them to show the content to. So this is a hashtag strategy that I learned from somebody, which I do use. So you do 3 types of hashtags. One is for content, what the content relates to. One is for the problem to be solved, and one is for the audience to be targeted. So for example, what the content relates to. One of my hashtags might be hashtag internet marketing. One of my, for the problem, hashtag get more clients. And then for the audience, hashtag women entrepreneurs. So those would be maybe, those are 3 of my hashtags. I always use my business, Whole Heart Marketing, the name of my book, Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula. But other than that, I switch up my hashtags all the time. I don't use the same hashtags all the time because if you do, the bots pick that up as spam. So you could have like 20 hashtags and use different ones on different posts. Facebook, maybe 6 hashtags, 5 or 6 on your business page. On your personal page, don't use hashtags in every post. Use hashtags sometimes, and some posts you don't use hashtags. On LinkedIn, 3 to 5 hashtags only. Okay. If you use a ton of hashtags on LinkedIn, it comes out as spam. Instagram, you can use more hashtags. So again, it's back to the interest-based algorithm. So the hashtags are very important now for that. So the strategy basically for content, share valuable, informative, and engaging content, maintain a consistent posting schedule. Hopefully you've gotten that by the 10 times I've said it. Use a mix of content types, articles, videos, infographics, YouTube. In my class, my monthly class, we do a whole entire unit on video, get people over. I'm a recovered video phobic, and I help people get over being a video phobic. How many of you are already doing video? Okay, you're all candidates for my class. Video is powerful. Video, you get so much free organic reach from video, and okay, I'm going to just say something. Some of you are going to, you're not going to let it in, but I'm going to tell you, as a recovered video phobic, video can actually be fun. It actually can be easy. It doesn't have to be this big thing. And I am a master at helping people get over their video phobia. Okay, and focus on providing solution and answering questions. Here's the thing. So if you do 10%, 50% of the time, you're engaging, building relationships. 40% of the time, you're serving, you're giving great content, you're building influence. And then 10% of the time, then you're going to make your offer. So I just want to share one more thing about user-generated content. So UGC is user-generated content. This is what you want to be sharing. Your own, which would be like what you're creating, your videos, etc., as well as things like, authentic things created by other people, testimonials, reviews, lifting other people up, humor, inspirational quotes, heartwarming stories, educational content, personal stories. This is another great screenshot because this is a great idea of things to share. Okay, video. AI can help you like what I do. So I just recently started doing this. I have AI write me a script in the form of a teleprompter, and I downloaded a teleprompter um, platform to my phone for the year, and I'm using it. And it like I asked my mom because I know she would tell me the truth, and she said it did not seem like I was reading. And so right after I got sick, I had some brain fog and I was like, I need to do some videos, but I'm like, I'm not clear. So that was my desperate attempt to be able to do videos and not be like spacing. I'm telling you, it really worked. I don't do that all the time, but it's a powerful tool, which I'm happy to share with you. So you can live stream onto Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can engage with your audience in real time, Q&As, promote lives. I mean, video, you guys, I'm just going to say, that's all I'm going to say, video. Okay, you get the point. Okay, create and share stories. Okay, so stories, I want to talk about the difference between stories, what stories actually are. Stories are great. They're at the top. You know how on your phone you see all those little boxes of people's stories, and so you're at the top of people's feed, and they're on your desktop too if you're on Facebook. You're at the top of people's feed for 24 hours. So it's good. And, the not good thing is if you shared something important, it's only up for 24 hours. And how many of you have clicked on a story and right when you click on it, it goes away, which is so frustrating. Half the time I don't even click on stories. So I want to encourage you, if you're sharing something that you really want people to see, share it in your feed as well. Don't just share it on your story, share it in your feed. But stories are great. You can share things behind the scenes. Sometimes I share things, just quotes or something, but mostly if it's something important about my program or something, I'm going to share it in my feed as well. Okay, so now we're 90% of our time is branding ourselves and giving so that we are building influence. And guess what? When you're putting out all that great content and you're engaging with people and building relationships, people care what you're selling. Okay. But if all you're doing is putting out what you're selling, then, what is it? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Okay, so you're going to share maybe a free event. Maybe you're going to share products, special offers, a consultation. Maybe you're going to share something free. I recommend that you share something for free because that's what people expect and it gives people an opportunity to get to know you. So I want to talk just for a minute about storytelling. So using storytelling instead of selling. Your stories are your superpower, and there's something that AI can't replicate. AI can help you to create great stories that you can then convey and communicate. So, for example, sharing a personal story about how your product or service helped someone rather than just saying, buy this or here's my thing. And then you could add, DM me if you're interested. Um, that is going to give you so much more credibility than just pasting your thing out there. And the DM, if you're interested, or link is in the first comments, is really important. I fought it for a very long time. And I can tell you that if you put your link in your post, you are going to get lower visibility. So you definitely want to do the link in the comments or, DM me if you're interested. And then the other example is, instead of sign up for my coaching program or sign up for my event, you could talk about for yourself. I remember when I had this struggle, like I used the example with social media, here's how I changed that. And now I help others do the same. So these are examples of sharing a story instead of buy my this or buy my that. And the more you can share from your personal story, the more interest and the more lean in you're going to get. So I know that I have shared a ton of information today, and that's why I'm giving you the recording. But I also would love for you to put one thing in the chat that you're going to implement from today. And while you're thinking about that, I am going to share with you, if it's okay, how you can continue to work with me going forward. And there's already a couple people, Marissa and Tanya, are already in the program, but I would love to share it with you because what I have created is my Whole Heart Monthly Masterclass on Zoom. And this is where you learn what to say, where to play, and how to win. This is where you learn what to do and what's working and what's not working, and how you stay on top of your social media. Because we all know that whatever the thing is that you don't exactly 100% want to do is the thing that's going to get left by the wayside. So I want to tell you a little bit about it. It's your monthly home base for staying visible, aligned, and consistent. It's a space for heart-centered entrepreneurs who want marketing to feel human and not exhausting. You get ongoing support and guidance, clarity and connection, and accountability so you don't have to become invisible. It's a steady place to grow your message and your visibility. Specifically, what the program includes are monthly strategy and teaching, clarity on messaging, visibility, content planning, engagement, and simple funnels, monthly Q&A, hot seat coaching, personalized grounded guidance, and weekly check-ins with gentle accountability and rhythm, and private heart-centered safe community for support and alignment. Oops. Oops. And then bonus is I do master classes about every other month on the things that I think people need to know about, like maybe it's editorial calendar or video or batching or things related to AI. And these would also be included. So the class meets, I have two simple options. You could pay $55 a month and just cancel, come 1 month, skip a month, whatever you want. Although I don't recommend that because we're gonna have it's gonna go sequentially. And then you can do 550 for the year where you get 2 months free. So we meet live on Zoom. It's a first and third Tuesday from 9 to 10:30. And if you're ready for a steadier, more human way to stay visible, I want you to consider joining this class. It's a powerful program. This year I offered it weekly, which was too much, so now I'm offering it twice a month. But the accountability will be in a Facebook group where you will always be able to ask questions. And here are the results that you're going to get. And these are the results that people have gotten from my programs. Over time, you're going to notice clarity instead of second guessing. You're going to notice consistency without pushing, confidence in your message, a supportive community around you, and momentum built from small aligned actions. This isn't just information, it's about relationship with your visibility. I've been doing this for over 18 years, teaching people how to get visibility. And I bring all of my coaching and holistic skills and my intuition and my master skills of helping people with their message and their content together with my inner geek to help them learn how to use all these annoying platforms. And so I really invite you to take this next step. And for those of you who stayed on till the end, I told you I had a special bonus. So for the people who stayed on till the end, if you saw, wait, I'm gonna turn off.